Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. As Bold and Beautiful's Deacon mourns Sheila, Kanan reunites with a long-ago co-star. Actors likely work with and meet numerous others over the course of their careers, and the Bold and the Beautiful's Kanan is no different. Though Deacon is currently mourning the loss of his lady love Sheila, his portrayer was out and about in Los Angeles this past weekend and posted a fun pic with one of his former co-stars, who he ran into at Hollywood show. "Great to catch up with Tony Danza at Hollywood show," Kanan shared, along with a photo from the Marriott Burbank Convention Center. Of the class act, Kanan went on to recall having the privilege of working with him on Who's the Boss back in 1990 when he appeared as Charlie. He not only kicks ass on the mandolin, he brought some crazy delicious farfalla pasta snack he made in his air fryer. Kanan then urged fans to check out Danza's performance on Star's Power Book II, Raising Kanan, where he plays Stefano Marchetti, and stated, "I feel like my last name alone should get me a cameo on the show." Kanan then urged fans to check out Danza's performance on Star's Power Book II, Raising Kanan, where he plays Stefano Marchetti, and stated, "I feel like my last name alone should get me a cameo on the show." One of the Bold and Beautiful actors' castmates thought Kanan and Danza's reunion was pretty neat, as Catherine Kelly Lang Brooke jumped into the comments to cheer, "Awesome." If you've never checked out the series, it's a prequel that takes place in the 1990s and chronicles the early life of Kanan Stark, the character first played by executive producer Curtis "50 Cent" Jackson. Deacon Sharp stood alone in the dimly lit room, his eyes fixed on the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows across the walls. The weight of grief pressed down upon his shoulders like a leaden cloak, suffocating him with its relentless embrace. Sheila Carter, the woman he had loved and lost, haunted his every thought, her memory etched into the very fabric of his being. It had been years since Deacon had last seen Sheila, yet her presence lingered in the recesses of his mind, like a ghost refusing to be laid to rest. Their tumultuous relationship had been fraught with passion and danger, a whirlwind of emotions that had both exhilarated and tormented him in equal measure. And now, with her sudden and tragic demise, Deacon found himself adrift in a sea of grief, his heart shattered into a million irreparable pieces. As he stood there, lost in his memories, a soft knock sounded at the door, interrupting his solitary vigil. Reluctantly tearing his gaze away from the flickering flame, Deacon crossed the room and opened the door, revealing a familiar face standing on the threshold. "Scene," Deacon murmured, his voice hoarse with emotion as he greeted his old friend. Kanan, the actor who had once portrayed Deacon on the hit soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful, stood before him, a sympathetic expression etched upon his features. "I heard about Sheila," said quietly, his eyes reflecting the pain and sorrow that mirrored Deacon's own. "I'm so sorry, man, she was something else." Deacon nodded solemnly, unable to find the words to express the depth of his grief. Sheila had been so much more than just a lover. She had been his confidant, his partner in crime, his everything, and now she was gone, leaving behind nothing but memories and regrets. "Come in," Deacon said finally, stepping aside to allow entry into the room. As his old friend crossed the threshold, Deacon couldn't help but feel a pang of nostalgia wash over him. It had been years since they had last seen each other, yet their bond remained as strong as ever. As settled into the chair opposite him, Deacon found himself opening up, the words tumbling from his lips in a torrent of emotion. He spoke of Sheila, of her beauty, her wit, her fierce determination, painting a vivid portrait of the woman he had loved with every fiber of his being. And as he spoke, listened, his gaze never wavering from Deacon's face. There was a depth of understanding in his eyes, a silent acknowledgement of the pain that Deacon carried within him. For knew all too well the struggles that came with portraying a character as complex and flawed as Deacon Sharp. "I miss her, Deacon whispered, his voice barely audible above the crackling of the fire. "I miss her more than words can say." Reached out, placing a comforting hand on Deacon's shoulder. "I know, buddy," he said softly, "but remember, Sheila will always be a part of you. She may be gone, but her spirit lives on in your heart." Deacon nodded, a single tear slipping down his cheek, for in that moment he realized that was right. Sheila may have left this world, but her memory would never fade, and as long as he carried her in his heart, she would never truly be gone. As the night wore on, Deacon and Scene sat together in companionable silence, sharing memories of a woman who had touched their lives in ways they could never fully articulate. And as the first light of dawn began to peek through the curtains, Deacon knew that, somehow, he would find the strength to carry on. For Sheila may have been his greatest love, but she was also his greatest teacher, and in her absence he would honor her memory by living each day to the fullest, cherishing every moment as if it were his last. As they bid each other farewell, Deacon felt a sense of peace settle over him, knowing that he was not alone in his grief, and as he watched Scene disappear into the morning light, he knew that, no matter what the future held, he would always carry a piece of Sheila with him, a guiding light to lead him through the darkest of times. For love may be fleeting, but the memories we create together are eternal, and in the end, that is what truly matters, the legacy of love that we leave behind for those who come after us. His life in pictures. As the son of Bold and Beautiful's Jacqueline Massins Wood turns 5, watch Rise learn to shine. It's funny how just a year ago, Bold and Beautiful's Jacqueline Massins Wood, Steffi, was preparing for the birth of her third child, even as she was celebrating the birthday of her oldest son, Rise. Now of course she's the proud mom of 3 boys, and it's clear that this mama bear couldn't be happier. Rise may still be young, but we can already tell the kid's got his mom's sense of style and adventure. Plus, it was apparent by his first Halloween that he was going to make one heck of a motorcycle rider. Of course, the kid still has plenty of time to decide how he wants his life to go, and we have no doubt his adoring parents will cheer him on in whatever he decides to do. All you have to do is check out this timeline of photos and you'll realize the same. So go ahead, scroll through, and be ready for some of the most stunning, joyful moments ever caught on camera. Wood celebrated her first Mother's Day with an unusually adorable Emmy photo, Rise sitting on her lap as she got ready for daytime's most important night of the year. "This is life now," she explained, "and I wouldn't have it any other way. Me getting ready in my kitchen 'cause going from room to room with a baby attached to you is impossible." After some time out on the sand, there was only one way for the day to end for Rise and Jami, with what is hands down the cutest post-beach video we've ever seen. It can be so tough to find just the right position for a good, long nap. We're just going to let Wood guide you through this moment of sweet tranquility and wish you the same contentment as Rise watching the sun come up. "Take 3 deep breaths," she wrote, "release the tension from the front of your forehead and your shoulders." Ah! Rise was finally old enough to help out with the decorating this past Christmas, which clearly made things much easier. He took the low branches and Mom took the high ones. No wonder Wood was grateful for moments like these. Helping prepare breakfast or practicing for his lemonade stand, or rather we should say orange juice stand, hand-picked and freshly squeezed, Mom explained. And we wouldn't be surprised if Rise helped out with the picking. After all, we already saw that he knows his way around a tree. Rise isn't just making his mom proud, we're pretty sure he'd also make motorcycle riding Steffi proud too. The youngin graduated from Harley-themed Halloween pics right to motocross-themed training wheels. And the best part? Safety first. Rise was prepared for anything. Who says chivalry is dead? For his 3rd birthday, Rise donned cape and tunic, picked up his sword and shield and charged into his new year head-on. He was, as Mom put it, already slain 3. From the tranquility of a sound bath to the chilly excitement of an ice bath, Rise has learned how to release all the negative energy. And yes, Wood added, "My son loves going in ice baths. He says that's where he gets his superpowers. Hey, beats getting bitten by a radioactive spider." With Brando's birth, the family was up to 5, and Wood celebrated her boys, her pups, and her loves in a beautifully tranquil video that made clear just how lucky Rise and his brothers all truly are. Biking is always more fun when you've got a friend by your side, even when they're of the 4-legged variety. And just in case you missed it, the training wheels were off. With Brando's birth, Rise was now big brother to 2 siblings, and that means it's time for a mom hack or 2. Need a coffee break? Freeze their toys, and just like that, Rise was leading the way with endless entertainment in getting their toys out.